Hello everyone and welcome back to the shop. We're not rebuilding cars today. We're going out in the field and we're going to pull some heavy iron out of the ground. We're going to rebuild some tanks. Now, Tank Mechanic Simulator has of course been out on Steam for just a short little bit. Thanks to Playway for the code that they sent me to play the game. I have been looking forward to trying this out. I've had it for a little bit, but just was distracted with other things and hadn't had a chance to try it yet. But today, we're going to get busy working on some tanks and see what we can do to make a little bit of cash. Now, I've experimented with the game a little bit up to this point, so I at least have some idea of what I'm going to do to put these things back together. But if you haven't seen this game before, it's pretty cool. I mean, we can take a variety of different orders to repair things, find tanks in the field and pull them out, repair them, sell them. We can start a museum. There's like a firing range and stuff where we can experiment with the tanks and everything. But before we can do anything, of course, we're going to need some sort of a tank in here in the first place. Now, I have a few skill points I think that I've earned by doing a couple jobs that I was using to kind of get acclimated with the game. I have 231 reputation points available that we can spend on different things. Now, I'm thinking first, I mean, I can get the tablet for the upgrade thing. I also to quickly access the control panel remotely. So I'm gonna unlock that upgrade. I don't know exactly what most of this stuff does for me. The angle grinder, I guess, is gonna be useful for to merge two tools into one, cutting off elements with rusted bolts and grinding the rust off of other elements. So that's kind of a 2-in-1 tool. Business-wise, we have parking level 1 allows one more tank. I'm not really worried about that just yet since we don't have any. These ones down here, I can't seem to unlock some of these passive ones. Maybe I have some of these already. This one here, movement speed increased by 10%. I'm gonna buy that. Reputation gain increased by 10%. Sure, we'll take that one too. What's this here? Museum level 1 allows you to show your tanks to the public. The museum has slots for 4 tanks. Well, I don't have any tanks at all right now, so I'm not worried about that just yet. Crafting parts gain increased by 25%. Sure. I mean, we use that for like repairing parts and stuff when we take them off. Gain money increased by 50. You know, let's make all the business decisions ones here. Get all these passive ones that are going to just give us some cash. All shop transactions have a 25% discount. Thank you. Screen bolts now 50% faster. I mean, we're going to do a certain amount of that, but all outsourced repairs are done quicker and with a lower cost. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that'll be a big one. Let's get the grinding tool here, I guess, also. Unlock. No, I need 40 points. I only have 36. I can get this quad thing, though. I don't know how much more beneficial that is, but we'll try the quad bike out. All right, so we've spent our points. We have some upgrades. There are more of those we can do, obviously. Over in here is the museum area. We haven't unlocked it yet, but in there is where we can actually have our tanks displayed after we've got them all repaired and stuff if we choose not to sell them. Like our fancy and super noisy computer is where we get all of our jobs and stuff. So the organizer will show us the objectives we have for whatever our current job is. Of course, there's the tank parts to buy parts. We go to the bank. It looks like we can get loans and stuff. I don't really need that just now. Tank museum, of course, isn't unlocked, but the mailbox is what we want right now. This is where we're gonna get a variety of different jobs. Have it M4 A3E8 Sherman, and it needs some renovation to be in perfect condition. I feel like I might have already done this one, but I'm not sure. Info about a tank. Hey, we're running information that there's a tank ready to be extracted. Yeah, actually, this one doesn't allow me to accept or decline, so I'll get rid of that one out of there. Okay, so this one, there's a tank that needs to be extracted. Are we interested? Potential money, $0. Reputation, 11. Repairs required, low. Nice job. I have another tank this time to be assembled. Need to buy missing parts for my T-3476 in the online shop and then assemble them. And then I have an available PxKpfw V. I'm not like a super tank nut, so I don't really know all the specific types of different tanks and stuff. This one has very high repairs required. But what I really want to do is go hunting for a tank. All right, so we go in the organizer, and from here we can start our extraction. Now I can choose the different types of vehicles. I can do it with the quad or an off-road vehicle. I'm gonna go with the. I don't want to do the off-road vehicle. I know we unlocked. Well, never mind. Let's do the quad. We unlocked the quad, so we'll take it for a spin and see what that's like. I really think this is part of what's so cool about this game. You're not stuck in the shop the whole time the way we were with Car Mechanic Simulator. I mean, obviously we had a couple tracks we could go and drive on, but with this game, we're actually having to go out and find this stuff. We could go to the junkyard in Car Mechanic Simulator, but, that was pretty much it. Check the map tablets in the selected vehicle. So we gotta find the tablet here, wherever that thing's hiding. There it is. Laptop. Pick that sucker up. Okay, so we're down here, and this circular area here is where the tank is gonna be located. It's somewhere in the ground. So we want to try and locate where it is, and then we can call in an extraction team that can pull it out for us. We might have to like clean it up and stuff a little bit too, but we'll see what happens. It looks like satellite imagery and everything. Let's drive over to where the tank is supposed to be in the ground, and we'll see what we can find over there. This is where we find out just how bad I am at driving again. Toggle engine. There we go. All right, we're good. Let's get out of here. So the nice thing about the quad is it should be able to go off-road really easy. Oh my god, that's really bumpy. Dude. Okay, so somewhere in this circle... That was a really short drive, actually. I guess I probably didn't really even need to get on the quad. Alright, so now that we're out in the field where this thing's supposed to be, we can take our metal detector. And using this thing, we can kind of scan the ground and start to get a sense of where this vehicle is located. So when this thing goes off, then we know the tank will be somewhere near there. Oh, it took a silly amount of walking around, but I think we're finally starting to get a reading on this thing, finally. Jackpot. Okay, so there should be somewhere, like, right about here. Sweet. Okay, so we're going to need a shovel now. We'll have to dig this thing up a little bit. I think the map actually glitched out on me a little bit. I walked all over the zone and couldn't find it. I had to reload it. And then we came across it pretty quickly this time, so that's good. We're going to put this metal detector back on our little quad bike here. I have a lot of extra flags down, you know, for reasons. We'll stick that on there. We're going to need our shovel now. So we'll have to dig this thing out a little bit before we can call in an extraction team. And then once we get it, like, I think it's like 30 or 40% uncovered, something to that effect, then we'll have to bring in a team to get it out of here. So here's the spot that we flagged. Ignore that other flag. That was a test flag. So we're gonna have to dig here. Oh man, first scoop, we found the top of this thing already. Achievement unlocked. What do we have here? So let's keep digging this thing out. I don't know what kind of tank it is just yet. They didn't really have any information. They just suspected that there was a tank here. So once we get this thing uncovered enough, we can get the extraction team in, and then we'll kind of hose the tank down a little bit more so we can get it a little bit cleaner, get out of the ground, and then they'll haul it back to the shop for us so we can start to do some work on it. Alright, I finally got to the point where I can extract this thing. I think I actually had to be like completely outside of the extraction zone with my vehicle. Cost of operation, $0. I'm definitely taking a $0 offer. Sorry, we found something, ran into a water source, pump it out. Oh, water source. Okay, I mean, I guess we gotta go out here then. No, yeah, now it's got water around it. It didn't have it before when I was doing it. Let's turn this on. Some of the sound effects in this game are a little loud. That's right. Oh, that mucky water out of there. I don't know what kind of tank this is, but it'd be cool to get it out of the ground and check it out. It looks pretty neat. Use pressure water. Required clean state 30%. How do we use the pressure washer? Oh, there's the pressure washer over here. All right, so we'll leave the pump on. It can get the water out as we use it, I guess. We'll take this thing. This thing gets spray down. So we gotta get it to a required state of 30%. Only 2% clean. There's a lot of dirt around this thing still. Get all the mud off of here. But 26% clean. I need to get it to 30. But I don't know what I haven't washed yet. 28% clean. It says 28%. So this is the Panther. Sweet. Okay, so open the radio menu, put the truck on the trailer, clean the tank. Order tank cleaning for $500. No, thank you. Can't afford it. All right, let's put this on the trailer. There we go. Finally, we got this thing out of here. Okay, so now we can head back to the shop. And, whoops. Stop spraying that thing. I gotta grab my shovel. I don't know if it automatically grabs it for me. We're gonna head back to the shop. We'll see what we can do with this tank now. It's up on the truck over here. It's pretty dark out, so I don't know if you can see this very well. Oh, I do have a light. So here's the tank as it is that we pulled out of the ground. It looks like it's missing quite a few parts for the track and stuff on it. Still very cool. Very cool. Alright, so there's the Panther we hauled out of the ground. It's in pretty rough shape, but we'll get it all fixed up. It has 79% of the parts on it, apparently, which is actually a little bit better than I thought it would be. It's in rough shape, though. It really needs to be worked on. So, first things first, whenever we get the tank out of the ground, or we're working on one that we've had in, to the shop. We want to get the rust and stuff off of it. I thought I bought the grinding, but maybe I didn't have the skill points for it. So let's grab the rust removal tool. This will let us get all the rust off the machine. So we have now in this game here, you don't even just like click on one spot and then like have everything get fixed. You've got to go around and find all the individual parts on the tank that have rust on them, and use this fancy tool to kind of scrape it all off. So it's going to take a little bit to go around and get all this. I'm going to have to go like over the whole tank to try to find it. So I'm going to go over the outside first, and then we'll pop into the tank and try to get what we can from the inside, and see if we can get this thing all spick and span. After we get all the rust off of it this way, then we'll have to sandblast it, and then we can like prime it and paint it and everything. We have an option where we can actually just like take all the rust off, and this doesn't cost us any money. It costs us like $1,000 to get it out of the ground. But we could do this and just take all the rust off of it and clean it up, and then sell it as is and make a certain amount of money. But I want to see how much it's going to cost to actually get the part to finish it, because I think it would be neat to turn this into a fully completed tank before we sell it. Kind of maximize our profit a little bit. It'll just sort of depend on how much the parts are going to cost. I think I have most of the exterior. Maybe not. I got to get up on top of this thing. Oh, come on. Walk up the ladder. Get up on top of this thing. Oh, yeah, we got a little bit up here we can get cleaned off of the rust. So we'll get all this off of here. And then we'll get inside the tank, and we'll see what we can find in there. Once we have all the rust off, we can sandblast it, and we'll see how clean we can get it. Now, finding the rust on these things can be pretty tricky, because there's actually a lot of parts, and the thing can be like this. Like, there's a bunch of stuff you can disassemble from it. But ideally, we want to try to get as much of this off without having to do too much disassembling as we can. So we'll drop that. Oop. See what we got here in the engine hatch. Yeah, so here's the engine. We can actually remove the engine from this thing, so we'll pull that out. That'll put it on the little engine rack over there, and I lost my rust tool. Oh, there it is. Put it back on my bench on me. So we can get rid of the rust that's on the engine here, too. This will kind of make this thing into a little bit better shape. We'll have to sandblast this also, but you can see it kind of like, as you scour all the parts off, you get sort of get rid of a lot of that sort of reddish rust color, and there, like everything from like the dipstick on the engine, like has to be taken care of. We are at what do we have for rust removal? 60% in total on the tank, so there's still like 40% more parts in here that we actually have to get derusted. So it can be quite a bit to kind of like find everything that's in here that you gotta get rid of. Down inside here, I can't reach in there. There we go. So like even inside the engine compartment, there's like supports and stuff in here, little struts and things that we gotta take care of. Okay. I think that's good. So if we go inside the tank now, we'll just pop right in here. We'll start off with the commander spot, I guess, and then you can see there's like all the rust and stuff in here. But it's nice that you can kind of jump inside because it makes it a lot easier to try to clean out the parts. You can see everything in here much closer up. Everything's much more in reach. And then once we're in here, we can also move from seat to seat to kind of clean everything out, which is pretty sweet. It takes a little bit of time, though. It can be kind of tedious. All right, we moved up to the driver position in here. I got a lot of the stuff back at the command area all taken care of. A little bit more rust in here. We're at 76% for rust removal, so there's still seems to be a lot of rust in here we got to take care of. It's so hard to find it all. And the ones that I've experimented with so far, I kind of had to like work my way through a few different processes to find it. So I kind of do this initially, get as much as I could find. And then there's like some different views you can get that will show you like parts that need work and things. But usually I found it easier to like move on to the sandblasting, and then the sandblasting would reveal the stuff that, well, I mean, sometimes it will reveal the stuff that you needed to actually get the rust off of, because you can't sandblast it until you have the rust off. Where it's still only at 78% on this. Switch over to the radio operator slot. I don't see anything else we can spot from here that needs taken care of. I think we've got about what we can. Now, it might also be showing a lower amount because some of the parts are actually missing, so I don't know if it pays attention necessarily to like just the ones that you have, or whether it's everything, but I think we got everything inside there we can get. I'm fairly certain we have pretty much all the stuff on the outside. I don't see anything that's... Oh, actually, this box here. That needs doing. This little bracket. It's like just tiny little parts you get to snag. I think we have most of it, though. Let's move on to the sandblasting. If we need to, we can get some more of that rust off after. So we'll grab the sandblaster, and it works basically the same way. You just sort of click the button and spray and try to find all the parts that you need to convert, but as they get cleaned up, they'll turn all nice and shiny silver, which is pretty sweet. It's pretty awesome when you get the thing all cleaned up. Similarly, we have to go and do the engine, so maybe we'll do that now so I don't forget about it. And then we'll get the engine all finished up. We can plop it back inside the tank. So I was saying we could pretty much just do all the cleaning like this. It doesn't really cost us anything, and that increases the value of the vehicle, and then we can sell it off as is and let someone else finish the tank. But we'll see how much it's going to cost to get the parts, and then maybe we'll try to complete it. And so here's a good example of a spot that I didn't get the rust on, so you can see that the sandblaster won't take it off. So we'll have to go and grab the little rust removal tool. We'll get this thing first taken care of. There we go. It was actually really close. I just didn't quite get there. We'll sandblast that. And then get up on top of the tank, we can do up here. And we'll have to get inside the engine compartment as well. Now, we can also remove the turret if it's helpful for us to try to find some more of the rust that we're missing. Or some more of the pieces that need to be sanded off with the sandblaster. Alright, I think we got most of that done. I can't really see what else needs doing. So there is actually an option to get a different view here. If we go into the tank status, we can look at the examine mode. Now, anything that we've gotten the rust off of and we've sanded will be yellow. Anything that still needs work in terms of removing rust or sanding will be red. And this will be a sense of... Let's do that one's kind of a weird, like, funky orangey color, but I think it's actually fine. I think we got pretty much everything. It might be like down to the like missing parts and stuff that might be making the difference. But it is funny that the sanding's not at the same level as the rust removal. I don't really know how that works. We can also take the turret off of this thing, so let's maybe do that. That might reveal some extra stuff that we need to take care of in here too. You can see the engine compartment stuff's all in good shape. It's all nice and green. Oh, there we go. There's a spot there that's not been done. Look at that. Look at this. I guess it's at 78% now. I don't see anything else in here. I'm pretty sure... Well, we got most of it. I don't know. I can't see anything else that we need doing. This is all nice and yellow in here, too. Oh, there's some in here that we didn't do. Alright, that explains some more of the difference. Okay, 80% for rust removal and sanding now. So we're at the point where we could be priming stuff, but let's go ahead and see what we can get for the missing parts now. We'll have to go back into the tank status and then look at the tank analysis. This tank's valued at $40,889. That's pretty sweet. But I wonder if that's the completed value, or just the value as it is currently. If we buy the missing parts, it's going to cost us $17,063. I think it's still worth it. We have $28,000 to work with, so let's maybe get those. And then we'll need to get all the missing parts stuck back on this thing. Tension bar, we'll assemble that. It's going to be a little bit tricky to kind of go through here and find all the spots where we need to put pieces back on this tank. There, we have most of the parts on it, but I'm not sure which ones we're missing now. There might be some pieces inside here. Yep, there's a couple in here we have to do. Put the floor in here. The gearbox is all way up there. Man, that takes a lot of room in that compartment. I can't believe there's room for the driver in there still. I have had the chance to go inside a few of these. Okay, now I got myself stuck. Alright, hold on. If we go into here, we can actually jump into the driver's seat, and then... for the driver's seat, I can just jump out. That won't kick me out of here. Can't open anything up there. Okay, so I think that's all assembled. Anything on the engine we have to do? There, it does look like there's a little bit here. Air filter cover can go on there. Stick on our air filters. Okay, I think the engine is complete now. Okay, I have all the parts on the tank now. But I did find a couple pieces that there is a problem with. So this fuel hose is at 24%, and it's not something I can repair just by removing rust and sandblasting. So we actually have to go in and remove that piece. I can't tell what it's... Oh, this spring also is another thing that's gone. So we're going to take this spring out of here. And then, whoops. Where was that fuel hose? I should be able to find the fuel hose here in this transparent view if I can just spot it. I can't. There's so many parts of this thing. Even with this view, it's kind of wacky. Oh, there's a fuel hose there, so it's got to be... Okay, this one here we got to take out. I think that was it. So just the two... I think there's only the two fuel hoses on here. Okay. So those parts we can actually go into here, and we'll farm out, outsource the repairs on these. We'll let someone else fix it. This is one of the benefits I took. It'll get fixed 50% faster and 50% cheaper. While it's doing that, we'll get started with the paint gun. We'll get this thing all primed up, and then once it's primed up, we can paint it. So this paint gun actually has 2 modes on it. So we have painting mode, and then we have the primer mode. We're just gonna get busy on the primer mode. This will only prime the parts that we had that we did all the sandblasting and stuff on. It won't do anything for the new parts that we placed on the vehicle that already have a color to them. It's kind of interesting. It just sort of ignores them as we spray everything down. But we'll get the rest of this thing all primed up, so it's ready to go. And that way, when we're ready to paint this thing, we can get it all colored the same way. All right, I think I have pretty much the whole tank primed up now. We can actually take this the turret and put it back on the tank. We don't really need to have it off anymore. That's here. We'll shift that over there. The engine should be completed here as well, so we don't need to put this in. Or sorry, we don't need to have this out anymore. You can see the tank's at 95% in terms of repairs and assembly 98%. Let's plop this thing back in. 98% assembly, 95% repairs. So there's still stuff that we haven't finished yet, but we do have to give it still a little coating of paint to get it all done. I think there still might be some rust in here somewhere I haven't gotten. Sanding's at 99%, rust removal's at 99%. Somewhere in here, there is one piece that I've missed getting the rust off of, and that's gonna drive me a little batty. Because it's just that one little bit that I can't get. And I don't know where it is. It's in here somewhere. Oh, you know what? Actually, I have the hoses that I took out of this thing that I haven't put back in yet. So if we go back into the interior view, we should be able to find back here. We need to go into assembly mode, actually. Oops. All right, into assembly mode, and then from here we can put the fuel hose back in. So that one's done now that it's all fixed up, and then there was the shock here, or the spring rather, that we took out. So that is in now as well. I think that will get us back to what we need. 100% sand routing and rust removal. Okay, sweet. So we just need to finish painting it, and then it'll call it like fully repaired, which is pretty awesome. Now we do have a paint bay over there we could put the tank in, but we don't really need to do that. If I can find it where I put my paint tool anyway. Where'd I put my tool? All right, hold on. Reset tools. There we go. I should put it back on the bench for me. Yeah, there we go. There's my paint gun. It is now set for painting mode. So on painting mode, just spray it the same way we did with all the primer. It'll automatically paint all the parts of the tank according to the color that they should be. We can probably put like tanks into the paint bay and like paint them all kinds of funky colors if we wanted to, like some kind of like a hot pink tank we can be driving around in. For now, we'll just make do with the standard coloring for this one, so we can get this job all finished and sold. I'm not putting this one in the museum anyway, since we don't have it unlocked yet. So the coloring is not really gonna matter that much. We're gonna get rid of it. We're just gonna sell it off and put a bunch of cash in our pocket. Well, I have the paint at 92%, and so the tank's at 98% tank repairs. Do you think I can find the last little bit of paint that I've missed? I mean, it's... maybe I can go to like a transparent mode and see. There should be somewhere in here. Oh, back here. That's where I've missed. Okay, so I think I'm gonna have to get inside the tank to get that. We should maybe get it from the gunner slot, maybe? We need to be able to see through the floor. Yeah, there we go. So if we can get... I think I gotta prime this first. That might be the problem. Nope, it says paint is missing. So there, we paint that. That's finished. It's hard to actually see because I'm just trying to see through cracks in the floor here. If we go over to the gunner seat here, a little bit down there we missed. Just tiny little cracks. I can't get it all. All right, hold on. Let's get out of here. I think we can take the turret off again, and we might be able to reach it. Take that out of there. Maybe now we can get it all painted up. It looks like I got it all. I don't know. I mean, in transparent mode, I don't see anything glaring here that I'm missing. There's something we've missed, though. We're at 98% tank repairs, 94% paint, 99% hull condition. So somewhere there's a little spot that I missed a little bit of paint. I don't think I'm going to hunt for it, though, because frankly, it takes a long time to get these tanks done. I don't really want to spend all my time just trying to track down that one little final percent when we're just selling the tank off anyway. It's not going to be like a pristine museum piece. It could be up on top here, maybe. Nope, you know what? Forget it. I don't care. Let's go see what we can sell this thing for. Once we check the status on it, I guess we go here. 99% hull exterior, 97% wheels. So it looks like the wheel's the issue. Somewhere there's a wheel that I didn't tackle, and the hull interior, gear element. Really? That little spot right there is what we missed? Okay. You know what? Forget it. Let's just sell this thing. I don't want to deal with it anymore. It's taking too long. There we go. Sell tank. So the tank value is now $87,242. That was definitely worth the restoration. We pretty much doubled the value of the tank by restoring it, which is pretty sweet. It looks awesome, too. I don't really care about the coloring and stuff because we're getting rid of it. We'll sell this off and put $87,000 and change in our pocket, getting us up to almost $100,000. Awesome. So we did manage to tackle our first tank. We could do some other types of jobs where we like restore tanks and stuff for others, but I kind of like the idea of like going and finding our tanks and digging them out of the ground. And now that we have a little cash to work with, that should make that a little bit easier. But thanks everyone for coming to check out the video. Leave a comment down below if you're interested in seeing some more of this game. I'll have a link in the description where you can find it on Steam. It is available right now. And thanks again to Playway for the code to play the game. I'm, as always, CrypticFox. I'll see all of you next time.